Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Kay, and in this video we're gonna do part 3 of the Booked and Busy series. Okay, so in this video I'm gonna be talking about interview tips that will help you get any hospital job. Okay, now I did a video last year on interview tips that'll get you a hospital job, and a lot of you guys were very receptive to that video. It's actually one of my most viewed videos. As of today, it has over 18,000 views, which I did not expect. Okay, and a lot of people write me and tell me that that video was very helpful for them, and honestly it just makes my day. Like, if I can help someone get a job, that just makes me happy. So that's why I wanted to do another video that was similar. So if you are interviewing, or you have an interview coming up, make sure that you stay tuned and watch this video to get some tips on getting any hospital job. Okay, so this video is probably going to be a part 1 and a part 2 because I don't want to make this video 30 minutes long. So in the first half of the video, I'm going to be talking about just general tips, and then the second part, I'm going to be talking about interview questions that you can ask the employer, okay, because that could be another 10 minutes. So just stay tuned for part 2 after you watch this one, okay? Alright you guys, so the first interview tip that I have is something that I've already said in the last video, but I do have to reiterate it because it's very important. But you want to make sure that you look good, because during an interview, the person does not know who you are, okay? So at the end of the day, when you meet people, they're gonna judge you. That's just human nature, to judge you. So if they see that you're just rugged and it looks like you don't take a shower, they're not gonna want to hire someone like that. And I don't mean that you have to look like Denzel Washington or Halle Berry or Beyonce or somebody when you go on your interviews, but you want to look professional, you want to look neat and clean, okay? So you want to make sure that your hair is decent. You don't have to go get your hair done, but you want to make sure your hairstyle is in good condition. And also you want to make sure that you're comfortable. You don't want to go and get a pair of high heels and you can't walk in them, because then you're going to look stupid, okay? So you want to make sure that if you are comfortable wearing heels, then wear heels. But if you're not comfortable wearing heels, then make sure that you get some comfortable flats that are professional. And I'll put a link to some flats that I wear that are professional and are like really cute at the same time. So make sure that you look good, you smell good. You don't want to be too overpowering with your cologne or perfume. So make sure that you're just looking your best, and take the attention away from how you look, and make them focus on who you are as a person. But if you look decent on the outside, they could not focus on that and focus on what you have to say, and focus on who you are. Alright you guys, so my next tip is to be confident. Okay, so the funny thing about confidence is that a lot of times when you have confidence in yourself, people are more likely to gravitate towards you and be confident in you too. But if you're timid and you seem diffident and just very withdrawn, they're not going to be confident that you can do the job. Like, it doesn't matter if you have a lot of experience, if you have no experience, you always want to give off the vibe that, I may not know it, but I could definitely learn. You want to give that vibe that, you're hiring the right person. So you want to make sure that you're confident. And another thing I want to mention is that someone who watched my last video, they mentioned that they're not confident during interviews because their English isn't that good. But this is something that you should be using as a skill, something that you should be using to make other people want to hire you. Okay, because if you speak more than one language, you're already ahead of a lot of other people. So, I mean, go in there and speak the best English you can speak and be confident when you speak, you know, because people will recognize if you're not confident in yourself. So just do the best you can and just be yourself and just be confident. Okay, so my next tip is to bring your positive energy. Okay, the thing about energy is that it's contagious. So if you bring that positive energy into that room, it's gonna just loosen everyone up. And a lot of times interviewers, they try and make you feel intimidated. It's kind of like testing you. They're trying to test you and see if they can break you, but you want to let them know that you're unbreakable. Like, you can't kill my vibe. You want to let them know that you are someone that is positive and make them feel comfortable also, because once you bring your energy and they see that you're one of those people that's smiling and you're happy, they're not gonna try and intimidate you any longer because they see that they can't do it. If you're someone that, you know, can crack a joke, like, you know, make them laugh and make them feel good about themselves, give them a compliment, and, you know, be natural about it. It will really change the energy of your whole interview from being really tense to just being lighthearted. You can win them over in that way. All right, so my next tip is to not be desperate. Okay, don't act desperate for anything in your life, because I feel like if something is meant for you, it's gonna be for you anyways. So there's no need to act desperate, because people can see it on you when you're desperate for something. And humans like scarcity. When they see that you want something really bad, they kind of don't want to give it to you. It's kind of like a sick thing that people do. Like, when they see you want it really bad, they're like, no, we don't want her, she's too desperate. And it's kind of crazy. So when you go in there, you want to give good energy, like I said before, but you don't want to have to laugh at every single joke like an idiot. You know, you don't want them thinking, my gosh, like, this person, they're so desperate for this job, they're just laughing at all my jokes and that wasn't even funny. Like, so you want to make sure that you're not being too desperate. You're showing interest, you know, you're doing those little things I've talked about in the past. You're writing notes, you know, you're bringing your own notes that you've taken from your research on the company. Like, you want to do those things because it's showing interest, but you don't want to be too desperate, because that's just like, that's ugly and people don't want desperate people. That's like in life, relationships, and it's the same with jobs. Like, people don't like desperation. Okay, so just be natural and just be yourself. All right, you guys, so my next tip is to not talk about money during your interview. So don't talk about money until you've got them hooked. Okay. So what you want to do during the interview is to make them love you. You know, you want to give the best interview, talk about all your skills and everything. And then when they actually offer you the job, that means you've got them hooked. They love you now. So now is the perfect time to negotiate and talk about how much you want. Now, if they ask you about money during the interview, you can always say, you know, when I get an offer, or if I get an offer from you guys, I'm more than willing to negotiate the price. You know, you could just leave it at that, because sometimes they get turned off and they don't want to hire you because they think, okay, this one's, I love this one, but they're asking for too much. So you want to make sure that, you know, they love you and you're like their number one choice. And then I feel like you have a little bit more wiggle room because you know that they love you. Now it's not them really considering me anymore, it's them giving me the job. And I would always like ask for what you think you're worth, or try and get that much, because women oftentimes don't ask for what they think they're worth because they think they won't get the job. But men, they usually ask for more money, and that's why they get more money. So I think as women, we have to learn to, you know, just ask for more. And sometimes you do want the job, but I feel like a lot of times employers, if they really love you, they will give you what you ask for or close to it. Sometimes you just got to take a chance. And you know, now when I do interviews, what I do is ask for what I think I'm worth. Now I may not get it, but I'll definitely ask for it if I feel like I have the experience. And you always want to back it up with your experience. You don't want to just say, well, I deserve $16 for this job, and you have no experience. Like, it makes no sense. But you know, you can always like tell them, hey, I have experience doing this, this, and this, and this can be a great asset to your company for this reason. So I feel like, you know, with my experiences, I deserve this much money. So you can definitely say that, but make sure you can back that up. So definitely negotiate. You know, it's called negotiation for a reason. Just because you ask for more money, it doesn't mean that they're not going to still offer you the job. You know, they may not give you the money that you request, but they'll definitely consider it. So, you know, definitely consider that. You know, that's my money tip for you guys. All right, so my next tip is to don't always talk about your plans for the future. Okay, because a lot of times, you know, employers ask you that because they're trying to gauge how long you're going to be with their company. You know, they don't really care sometimes. Sometimes they're like, okay, well, if they're in school, they may be here for a while. Or, you know, maybe if they're in their last year of school, they may only be with us for a few months and we need someone who's going to be here for much longer. So you don't always have to tell them what your future plans are. You know, if you want to get the job, sometimes you just say, hey, I'm still trying to figure it out, or I don't have any definitive plans at the moment. So you don't have to tell them exactly what you're doing with your life, because sometimes they will use it against you. Sometimes they'll go with the person that they think is going to be there longer or be the most available. So you don't have to tell them every single thing you're doing in your personal life. If you're going to school, you don't necessarily have to say that, but you have to consider the fact that if you're in school, maybe some jobs won't work with your schedule. So, you know, school, maybe you can tell them, but if you have certain plans coming up, you don't exactly have to tell them about everything that you're doing in your life. Okay guys, so the next tip I have is to write a thank you note. Okay, so some jobs, they don't really have a way of connecting with the manager after the interview. So in those cases, there's really not much you can do, but you can always ask the hiring manager for their email or even their address, and you can write them a thank you note. You know, I think that's always a really good sentiment, and it's something that will keep you on their mind. Because a lot of people don't go above and beyond. So when you're that person that goes above and beyond, they're more likely to hire you, because it's like, oh wow, this is really nice. And those things mean more to people than you think they do. So, you know, definitely write a thank you note if you're able to. All right, you guys, so my last tip is to ask good questions. Okay, like you want to come up with something different and something that's not the same as everybody else. I mean, people get bored during interviews because people are always asking the same things. So you want to make sure that you're, you know, asking really good questions, something different from everyone else. And that leads me to part 2 of our video. So make sure that you stay tuned for that and watch that video next week. Alright, you guys, so that's it for this video. Okay, this is part 3 of the Booked and Busy series. Okay, so you want to make sure that you stay tuned for next week's video, which I'm going to go over different questions you can ask during an interview, and I'm going to just break them down. And you know, it's just gonna be a good video. But we said we're gonna be booked and busy in 2020. Okay, that's no different from 2019. We're gonna be even busier this year. Okay, so keep watching this series. I have a few more fun videos for you guys, so keep watching and make sure you hit the subscribe button and like my videos, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.